and recording now. Thank you, Zoe. What would I do without you? So, what was I saying? Oh, so I was going to school to be a sign language interpreter. So even my homework was taking me outside of my house. I always had to go to events and stuff like that for homework and for credit. So my life was nuts. It was crazy. I live in Michigan now, but I'm originally from Mississippi. I just moved here whenever I started this business. So I literally had every excuse and every reason not to join this business. I didn't know anybody here. I was way too busy. I didn't have the $99 to get started. I was scared that I'd fail. Like, there are just so many reasons, but instead of making those excuses, I made them reasons why I had to do this. I was sick of not having time. I was sick of not having money, and I was sick of not knowing anybody up here. So I made, all of those reasons why I wanted to do this. Joined this business, didn't know what the heck I was doing. Like she said, I failed all the time. People come to me with questions all the time. They're like, should I do this? And I'm like, no, I did it. Don't do that. And so that's the cool thing about being in this business for longer. You can tell people quickly, what not to do. And so yeah, I failed a lot. I promoted to executive in a few months, promoted to Ruby in 4 months. Side note, have been and I'm so ADD. Let me everyone. Scared? Okay, so had there been a Ruby bonus, which there wasn't one then, but had there been, I would have never gotten it. Had there been an Emerald bonus, I would have never gotten the Emerald bonus either, because you have 2 months, like 2 full months to get it. It took me 14 months to go Emerald, so I would have not gotten that bonus. So all that to say that while they're so doable, it's okay if you don't get those bonuses. It's okay if you don't promote that fast. So anyway, so it took me 4 months to go Ruby. It took me a year after that to go Emerald, which I promoted to Emerald and Diamond in the same day, and earned some bonuses with that, enough to quit my job, and I was able to replace all my income, so I quit all my jobs. And then it took me another 13 months to, was it 13 months? Yes, to go double Diamond. And then 2 months later, after that, I went triple diamond, and I've been triple diamond for 13 months again. So it's fine. I like to sit at ranks for like a year. It's cool. And, but I always tell people, even if you only promote one time every year, in 8 years from now, if you just joined, you will be making $40,000 a month on average in 8 years from now. So I'm just saying it's kind of worth it. So don't get discouraged by the slow promotions. Slow is relative, fast is relative. Who cares how long it takes you to promote, as long as you love what you're doing and you're excited and you're talking to people every single day. So that's a little bit about my story. Obviously, this business has changed, my life too. I've paid off debt. We're paying for our wedding in cash right now. And while we're paying for our wedding in cash, we just paid off $10,000 in credit card debt. We're credit card debt free. We are saving up for a house, paying off our cars. It's just like a really cool, like, transitional time in our life, and our team is on fire. I'm so excited. So freaking close to presidential. I can taste it, and I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to take my team with me. They're earning so many bonuses too. This is so fun. So we just want to share some tips with y'all tonight, and I share with my team some of the topics that we were going to talk about. And that is faith over fear, time management. We want to talk about signing up distributors, because hello, free fit 15. I've had trouble all day saying that. Free fit 15 in our starter kits is literally insane. They've never done that before. So I'm loving this promotion. So we just want to kind of jump in now and just start talking about how to, maximize this promotion and how to just get your mindset right. So Charity, did you want to start, or did you want me to? I know you sent me a voice message, but I haven't been able to listen to it yet, so I don't know if that was.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I said in it. So yeah, for those of you, because we didn't record this till after I told you guys who I was. I used to be a stylist. Justin was a heating and cooling tech. I am a super failure. I have dyslexia. I used to live in a car. I was a punk rock girl that panhandled on the streets. I'm a high school dropout, college dropout. I had a kid at 17, and I have hot messed my way somehow to a 6-figure income. So if I can do this with this business, anybody can do this, because I'm literally a pro failure. So, okay, so that was my 14-second story. Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. And what I did, Morgan, because you sent me kind of like what your notes were, so I kind of wrote down like other things beyond that, because a lot of us leaders, you're going to find, guys, are saying the same things. And it's like Mike always says, success leaves clues. So you're going to hear the same things from people over and over again, but sometimes hearing things from a different person for some reason it like registers with you and it didn't register when someone else says it. So some of this information might already be regurgitated, but you know, we'll figure that out as we go. So yeah, faith over fear. This was something that I actually did very early in the business. So we were 2 weeks in, I hadn't done anything. I was scared to talk to anybody. And literally, guys, when I say we were broke, we were over $700,000 in debt, like for reals. Like it was a laughable joke. We'd gone through bankruptcies. I'd been through a divorce, 2 foreclosures. I lost my business, like you name it. It was bad. And so when I started this business, it kind of like, I had never done anything like this before. I didn't even know what network marketing was until I was already a diamond. I'd never even heard that term, like legit, like, cause I started in 2013. There was no YouTube videos. There was no help. There was one Cami Dempsey, when she was Cami Dempsey. Now she's Cami Pentecost, but she had done a video on a party I watched like 300 times. I was doing parties for my dog. I was doing parties because no one showed up to my first 11 parties. Like it was a hot mess. So I'm 2 weeks in, Justin says to me, look, here's the deal. You got to figure out how to do this and you got to start talking to people, because if you don't, we're going to have this auto ship and it's going to decline. Like we have 47 cents in the bank. Like, so figure it out. And I was like, oh, you think it's so easy? You go sign a customer. And he literally went and signed a customer like 10 seconds later. And I was so angry. So I've worked ever since then. So I put faith over fear right when I started. And here was the reason. I'll tell you guys a short moment. Has anyone ever had what they call a D-Day? I don't know if anyone's ever had that. That day that you realize that your life is so awful and terrible and that you cannot literally go on for one more second the way that it is, because if you do, you're going to like cry and become like a raging alcoholic. That was my moment. So I'm literally at my salon. I'm in the back room. I don't want to do hair anymore. I was over it. I was done. I was tired. My back hurt. Like I was destroyed. I'd done it for almost 15 years. My body was done. I'm in the back of the salon. I'm eating vegetable Campbell's soup out of a can cold because I was trying to fit as many customers as I could into the day because we were so broke. Like we had no extra money. So I was just going to take on more customers. And I cried for like 10 minutes into a can of Campbell's soup. That was my moment. That was that low D-Day moment. And that was the second I decided that I was going to put faith over fear. I was going to take every single thing that everyone had told me that was going to happen to me and let it be my fuel. Charity, a business like that will never work. Charity, no one's going to want these products. Charity, no one's going to want to order 3 things for 3 months. Charity, no one can run a business like this from home. Charity, you don't know how to do social media. Charity, you have dyslexia, you can't even spell. Charity, you've done 11 parties in a row and no one showed up. Like all those things. All those negative things from my family, negative things from my friends, negative things from my customers, negative things from because I started this business in the town I grew up in. Everyone just knew me as this crazy punk rock, like, hairdresser, right? And they're like, oh, you'll never be able to run a business like that. So I immediately decided to put that faith over fear. I didn't know how I was going to make it, and I didn't know how this was going to work. I just knew that if I put one foot in front of the other, every single moment of every day, and literally let the hatred that people were throwing at me be my fuel. I let it fuel my gas tank like nothing else. And I still do to this day. The minute someone tells me I can't do something, I'm like, yes, please tell me I can't do it, because I'm going to prove to you I can. So the first thing I'm going to say to you on this topic, and really just about the only thing I have to say, is I want to ask you a serious question. And my team knows, like, I am a very like straightforward kind of girl. So I'm going to ask you guys this question. This is a serious question. I don't want like hearts and rainbows, buttercup, like sunshine and rainbows responses. Seriously, let me ask you a question. Do you honestly believe that you can be a success at this? Do you honestly believe that a direct sales company can give you Morgan McIntyre money, Rhonda Hartman money, Kay Souter money? Do you honestly believe that it can? If you don't, you will not win at this game. That's it. I know that sounds harsh. And guys, like I said, I don't have any yellow, so you're going to have to just feel me out. If you don't believe you can do this, then you can't. If you believe that you can, and you're willing to say, I'm going to put it all out on the table, what is the worst thing that can happen? Someone tells you you suck. Someone tells you you're horrible. Someone tells you that this isn't real. Someone tells you that it's a farce. So what? Who cares? Opinions are like armpits. Everyone has them and they generally stink. So why are you letting those armpits decide for you whether this business is going to work. Every successful person has two beliefs. And I actually have this up on a little post-it note where I work. Every successful person begins with two beliefs. The future can be better than the past or the present, and they have the power to make it so. If you don't believe that, and you keep concentrating on tomorrow or what's going to happen next month, or I missed a bonus. Guys, I've missed 796,000 bonuses in this company. Whoa, talk about missing bonuses. That's a lot of bonus money missed, right? Who cares? Who cares what you missed? Who cares what's going to happen tomorrow? Who cares what's going to happen next week? Who cares what's going to happen next year? Who cares if your whole team quits? Who cares if 19 diamonds on your team leave? Who cares if 47 rubies? Who cares if you get all the way to black diamond, and to go double black diamond, there's not one person on your team that was there, because the only runner you ever need is you. So put the faith over fear. One of the quotes I love too, and I mess up quotes, guys, so I just kind of make it up as I go, is criticism builds character, niceties builds complacency. So do you want everyone to be like, oh, your products are so amazing and so great, and oh, you're just so wonderful, and everything's like wonderful, and it's like Snow White imagination land? Or do you want people to criticize you so that you can get tough and build that skin that you're going to need to be able to fight for your future? That's what I got on faith over fear.
Sorry, it took me a long time to unmute myself. Sorry for that awkward pause. So I like what you said about, if you don't believe that you can be successful at this, like, you'll never win. And take that as like, I can change that, and I can believe so that I can win. Because, I told you that I sat at Diamond for a year, 13 months to be exact, but who's counting? And, people ask me after I promoted to double, then boom, triple. And people were like, where did you come from? Like, why did you sit at Diamond for 13 months and then hit double, then hit triple? Boom, boom, like back to back. And I said, because I finally believed I could. Honestly, and it took me a long time, because people kept asking me that, and I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why I started to. I literally don't know. And then I started to think about it. Like, after more than like 2 or 3 people asked me, I was like, no, really, like, what changed? And what changed was that I went to conference for the first time in February. And it wasn't this Passover, it was last February. And so I went to conference, and for the first time, and I know people say this all the time, and it's cliche at this point, but like, I don't know how to explain it, but I literally just felt like I could. Like, I saw people. I remember sitting on the 3rd balcony, so 3rd level, which is actually like 4 or 5 stories high because of how big this auditorium is, and like whatever it's called. I'm up 3 stories. Macy's sitting on one side of me, and a girl named Catherine is sitting on the other side of me, and I'm a diamond, okay? And I'm struggling to maintain diamond, and I look at them while they're doing the top 100 walk down on the floor, or top 150 or whatever it was, and I said, I'm going to be down there one day. I'm going to be down there one day. And whenever Mark Pentecost looked at the crowd and he said, you can change your life, I was like, I can change my life. Oh, okay. I can change my life. All right. Sounds good. Like, for the first time, I truly, genuinely believed like I really could change my life. And I took that belief with me, and I put action to it. And whenever I put that action with that belief, boom, I hit double, boom, I hit triple. And 1 year later at conference, I was top 150 walking that same walk that I sat up 3 stories high the year before, and I said, I'm going to be down there, and the next year I was. I sat at that top, that 3rd row, and I said, I'm going to be on that white couch. And guess what? I was. And so is Charity, and she said the same thing, and we've both been on the white couch now, which if y'all don't know what that is, so then we have some newbies. The white couch is like the sacred white couch. Not really, but we just all like think it's like so cool. And it just means you sit on stage and you just give your tips or whatever, and you speak at conference, but you do it on a white stage or on a white couch. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so crazy. But it's because I visualized it. We talked about this in our leader Zoom too. Like, I visualized what I wanted, and I put action to it, and it happened. So I wrote some different things I wanted to say too, is every good and perfect gift comes from the Lord, and I truly believe that this business is a good and perfect gift. And so take that and put that faith in what the Lord has given you, and know that He is gonna, bless the work that you put your hands to. If you're putting action to this business, He's gonna bless that. And it may not be in your time frame, and it may not be how you want Him to, but He is gonna bless that, and He knows what's best for you. And so He knows what you need when you need it, and He's gonna give you that exact thing. So don't let I know she talks about fear of opinions. Don't let that discourage you, because like I said in the chat, my friends were so mean to me whenever I first started, and I'm not making that up to make you feel better if that's happened to you. I joined in October, and I paid for my plane ticket to go home and see my family for Christmas that next December. So like 2 months later, I'd been in the business for like maybe about 2 months, and paid for my plane ticket with It Works. Went down. The first thing I did was went to my, high school friend's Christmas party. And I walked in the door, and one of my best friends since 4th grade looked at me and he said, "If you're going to talk about those wraps, you can just leave." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to leave. And I probably will talk about them wraps." So, and all of my friends now have either become a customer or a distributor, or they shut up and apologize. And literally some of them have taken me to dinner to apologize to me for how ugly they were, because that's how mean that they were to me, is that they felt the need to apologize and like sit me down and say they were sorry. People were mean to me, but guess what? They never paid my bills. None of them were offering to put gas in my car. None of them offered to put gas, put groceries in my cart and pay for them for me. And I didn't care what their opinions were, because I knew that if I went back to what I was doing before, that my life was never going to change. It was going to always be a struggle. So why would I not try something different? And who cares what they say? And the thing is that I always tell my team is, you can quit this business to try to avoid people's opinions. You want to try to avoid,
Okay.
Sorry,
Nope.
that's a joke.
You're back.
It's literally a joke. Okay, so I don't know where I left off, but I was saying, you can quit this business to avoid people's opinions so that they won't be mean to you, or so that they won't tell you what they think about you, whatever. That's fine, but good luck letting that solve the problem of people giving you their opinions, because people have an opinion about you and everything that you do or don't do. And am I freezing?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, hopefully it gets better. Okay, I don't know. I'm just like watching y'all, and if y'all start to
and I like to what actually my sister in here said is, guys, people are going to make fun of you anyways.
Yes, exactly.
Like they're going to make fun of you whether you are short, tall, small, big. It doesn't matter your nationality, your religion, any of that. I mean, I remember when people made fun of me for going to hair school. They're like, "You've never done your hair or your makeup a day in your life. You live in, sweatpants and dirty t-shirts. What do you mean you're going to go be a stylist?" I remember going to my first day of school, when we got like our brushes and our scissors and everything. I held up a round brush, and I kid you not, I said, "Why does this brush not have a back?" And every single person in the entire room started laughing. When the flat iron came out, I was like, "How can you curl your hair with something that's flat?" Like, I'm not kidding. Like, they're gonna laugh at you no matter what you do, but you have the opportunity to laugh all the way to the bank, right? And they can take you out to dinner. Morgan, I'm gonna hit some of my friends up that made fun of me. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Morgan McIntyre got taken to dinner. Like, you made fun of me. Like, when am I getting my dinner? When am I getting my meal ticket? Take me out for a nice keto dinner." So, yeah, no, I totally agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because, I mean, like, that's what I was going to say, too, is, like, people are going to make fun of you whether you have kids or don't have kids, or if you have kids really young, or if you have kids really old. They're going to be like, "What the heck?" Like, it doesn't matter what you do. So, like, joining this business isn't going to make them have opinions about you. They already did, and it's not going to make them stop, because they still will. So that's the last thing I wanted to say over faith over fear. Like, why do you fear what people think of you? And it's hard in this like day and age. Obviously, we all care what people think about us, and it's easier said than done. But I mean, in the end, they're gonna look back and they're gonna be like, "Dang, she was right," But the only way to prove them wrong is by continuing to go, because they all think you're gonna quit, and if you don't, you proved them all wrong. And if you quit, you prove them all right. So you just have to decide what you choose, because it's totally your decision. It's totally your choice. So the next thing I think we want to talk about is time management, and then we'll talk about signing up distributors, just tips on that and how we do it. So did you want me to go first on time management, or did you want
I'll go, because mine's going to be kind of short and sweet. Like, so one last thing I wanted to see on the belief thing too. You know how Morgan's saying, I've been sitting at triple for 13 months. Guys, I've been sitting at triple for 4 years. Like, it doesn't matter how long you're sitting at a rank. You're not going to promote until your brain believes that you can and you're ready. And I'll tell you, I have had so many people ask me, why haven't you promoted? I had Pam ask me, why haven't you promoted? I've had Cammie ask me. I've had Aspen. I've had the big dogs ask me. And I'm like, I don't know. I did a call with Denise Walsh. I don't know what my barrier is. And I'll tell you what it was. I just didn't believe that I could go presidential. I don't know why I didn't believe it. I just didn't believe that I could. It's like I'd say that I could, and I'd say I wanted to. So if right now you're sitting at any rank, whether it's a DT, executive, Ruby, doesn't matter what rank you're sitting at, say to yourself that you're worth it, and you do believe it. And it's easy for me to say that, but you got to find that inside. Do some self-development and figure out, because the only person that's stopping you from the next promotion is literally you. It's not the people that have quit on your team. It's not the loyal customers that have quit ordering. It's not the company structure or the products. The person that has stopped charity from going presidential is charity. So own up to that and feel that, guys. Find that belief, because I promise you, once you find it, all of a sudden you'll see your team moving at this crazy rate. It's the weirdest thing. It's like, big momentum. Okay, time management. So I read a great quote actually this morning. When I woke up, I was just kind of breezing through, and I found a quote that said, successful people make a plan and stick to it. And that is such the most honest time management tip I could give you guys. So how many of you have made a schedule before in this business? Okay, that's it. I'm sitting down, I'm making a schedule, and I'm going to stick to it. And then you stick to it for like a day, 2 days. Life hits the, things happen. Oh, I can't make a schedule. I've got kids, or I've got work. And then all of a sudden you start making excuses. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, this is the time. I got this new planner from Office Depot. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to make a schedule, and this is it. And you have a call with your upline, and you guys make a killer plan, and you're like, dude, this is it. I'm on fire. I'm so ready, bro. Let's go. And the next moment you wake up and you're like, well, I do have to take so-and-so to gymnastics, and I got to do laundry, and I got this. So tomorrow, oh, well, tomorrow's pretty bad. Okay, Monday's the day I start my diet. I change my life forever, and I'm going to do this plan. And then Monday comes around, and you're like, oh my God, this week is so bad. It's the 4th of July week. Things are happening. I got to go to the barbecue. And How many people have done that, right? Come on. Every single one of your butts on here has done this. And if you say you haven't, it's only because either you're a liar or you haven't been in the business longer than 2 weeks. So make a plan and just stick to it, you guys. Just get this done. Why are you prolonging your misery? Think about this, guys. There is 2 speeds that you can go in this business. There is only 2 speeds that you can go. You have a choice. I'm going to give you a choice tonight, right? It's like loyal customer or distributor. This is your choice. You can either be a rowboat or a speedboat. But here's the kicker, right? They're both nice boats. They're both beautiful. You can paint them and give them whatever names you want. You can fly little pirate flags on them. You can do whatever you want to these boats, right? But there's 2 boats. This speedboat goes so fast on the water that it has no time to take on water, right? You're going so fast. You're moving. You're going. You're consistent. You're flowing. Big Mo's in the house, and Big Mo's like, by the way, Big Mo is big momentum. Big Mo's like, yeah, this person rocks. Let's go. Let's party. Speedboat. Woo, 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 right? You're like drinking Coronas, having a great time. It's a party boat. It's going fast, right? Or you can be the rowboat. But here's the thing with the rowboat, guys. The wood rots, the holes get created, and you take on water. What does that look like in this business? Distributors quitting, loyal customers stop ordering, you spending more than you're making, you getting frustrated, and you saying things like, I've talked to everyone. No, if you've ever said any of this, you've been a rowboat. I've talked to everyone. No one on my team is working. Loyal customers stopped ordering. So-and-so's fidgety about their order. My auto ships more than I'm making. I can't believe I didn't promote. I missed another business. Guys, if you're the rowboat, you're going to take on water. It's just fact. How do I know? Because I've been taking on water for 4 years. I'm like, fast, slow, fast, slow. I'm like some sort of seesaw that makes me seasick, right? Be the speedboat, guys. If you're the speedboat and you find a plan that works for you in your crazy life, because we all have crazy lives, right? Find a plan and just get it done. I want you to think about this. Okay, over the next 100 days, when is 100 days from now? What is it? July? I don't even know what the date is. It's like beginning of July-ish. So August, September, October, November-ish. Okay, about 100 days from now. You have a choice tonight, starting tonight. This can be your D-Day moment. You can do 1% better every single day with your time management and your schedule. And in 100 days from now, be 100% better at what you're doing right now. 100% better. You'll be fixed. It'll be like a miracle, right? Or you can do 1% every 5 days and have it take you the next year and a half to go Ruby. What's your choice with that? That's it. 1% better every day over 100 days equals 100% better, or 1% better every 5 days, and it's going to take you another year and a half to get to where you are. Guys, it's just about finding the plan, sticking to it. Don't scroll on Facebook. Every time you give your upline an excuse, I want you to wear a rubber band around your wrist and snap that sucker. Let's see how bruised you are next week. And if you're going to make promises to your family, okay, if you're going to tell your husband, oh no, baby, I swear I'm going to go Ruby this month. Like, I just need you to leave me alone and do dinners and do laundry. And I need you to just do this and pick up the kids and everything like that. And then your butt isn't consistent and you don't do time management. Your husband's going to say to you, liar, liar, pants on fire. I am not helping you next month because you didn't live up to your end of the bargain. Your kids. You keep telling your kids, no, I swear to God, I'm going to go diamond. When I go diamond and get a bonus, I'm going to take you to Disneyland. It's going to be like the most amazing thing of all time, and it's going to be great and wonderful. And then your butt does not live up to your promise. So you can promise and perform or preach and let people down. Look at what you want to have at the end of the month. Divvy it up throughout the week. Make a plan and stick to it for the love of good gravy. Don't be the rowboat. Nobody wants to be the rowboat. Rowboat has water. Rowboat's rotting. Does anyone want to be a rotting rowboat? I don't. I want to be like the party boat. I'm a party girl. Morgan, you're up. Sorry, I get worked up, guys.
I love that. I'm going to have to start going first because I don't know if I can follow your excitement and I'm like pumped up now. I just want to go work. But, okay. So one thing, hang on, sorry, I have to switch legs. So one thing is, so I'm going to talk about what I do now, and I'm going to talk about what I used to do whenever I was like busier, which I'm still like crazy busy right now, but whenever I had jobs and school and all that stuff. So I'll tell you both. Can y'all hear me? Okay. So I get super distracted. Hang on one second. Oh, okay. So number one, I'm going to tell you a bunch of tips, but I think the one thing that some of you need to hear is that, you don't necessarily need tons of tips. Like, how to organize your, here, hang on. People are saying that I'm quiet. It's definitely not me, so I think it's my computer. 1 second.
It doesn't sound quiet to me at all.
If I move it down here, is this better? Okay, I'm closer to it now. Okay, so I'm just quieter than Charity. Okay, so I'm actually not though in person, it's just in my computer. So my brain, ADD. Okay, so sometimes I think that we are like, okay, well, what's your tip for this? Like, how do you stay organized? Show me how you do your planner. What do you highlight? What do you do this? Because I highlight. I'm like a super type A, but people are like, what do you do? Like this, and this. And I'll tell you what I do, but some of you just need to want it bad enough. Because if you want it bad enough, because like when people ask me, how did I do it back then? I do not know. I do not know how I did that. I don't know how I worked 9 a.m. to midnight every single day, just about, and then went to school on the other days and promoted from Ruby to Emerald, Emerald to Diamond in the same day and earned $22,000 in bonuses. I don't know how I did it, but I freaking wanted it. And I think that that's all that mattered. I wanted it, so I just figured it out. I figured out a way to do it. And if you want it bad enough, you'll freaking figure it out, you know? And I'm super red too, so I get like fired up. Like, just want it. If you want it, then you're gonna do it. It doesn't matter how you do your planner if you don't use one. You're gonna do it. So now we'll get into the like specifics of how I do stay organized, and how I manage my time. So back whenever I was working 2 jobs, going to school, I was super busy, obviously. And one thing that I want to remind every single person whenever I talk about time management is it's not your life and then your business. Like, I'm going to go to school, then I'm going to come home and work my business. I'm going to go to work, then I'm going to come home and work my business. I have to take my kids to their soccer game. Then after that, I'm going to come home and work my business. It's all together. There is no balance. You blend it. So I didn't go to school, then work my business. I wore my It Work shirt to school. I took my greens in a water bottle, and back then we didn't have chocolate greens. They were just for sure like green, and people were like, what are you drinking? And they would order greens. I had my greens chews in my purse. I had Confianza in my purse. I literally passed it around one day before we took a midterm, and everyone ordered Confianza. I took Fat Fighters to lunch. I'd set them on the table, take them after I ate, set them back on the table, and didn't pick them back up and put them in my purse till I left. And I was just constantly talking about the business. I added every single person from school that was in my class on Facebook. They saw me posting. And so every single person in my class, and whenever I say that, don't be like super like, oh my gosh, it was like 13 of them, but still, there's like every single person in my class ordered and became a customer, or they became a distributor. And then I went to work, and it was just, I worked with a bunch of dudes, but I remember there was one girl, and I wrapped her in the back room. One of those dudes is my fiance, so that worked out. But so the girl, I wrapped her in the back room. I, had these vitamins and like all this dude stuff. Like, I had my new you in the back room, like all my stuff for like that guys would be interested in. And I was talking to them about it. Like, I'd have them sitting out on the desk. And so I was always working while I was doing other things too. So if you're at a soccer game for your kid, or, you're taking your kid to a competition or whatever, talk to the person next to you. You're missing an opportunity if you're not working this business into your schedule. It's not one or the other. It's both. You can do both. And you don't have to feel like you're constantly on your phone, or that you're constantly like, being torn here and there because of this business. It's so simple. Like, we overcomplicate it a lot. It's so simple. But that's kind of what I did. And obviously, like, I did sacrifice sleep. And right now, with the financial freedom that I have and the freedom of time that I have, I promise I'm not sitting here thinking November 12th, 2014, I really wish I would have had that extra 30 minutes of sleep. I don't care. Like, you're never going to look back and wish that you had had more sleep. You're going to be really thankful for where you are now and the sleep that you gave up to get here. So I would wake up an hour before I needed to go to school and get ready, and I would work my business. And that looked like posting, messaging, whatever. I'd come home, I'd do the same thing, and that would be midnight when I'd come home, and I would still stay up for 30 minutes and plan my post for the next day, and I would message people, I would respond to messages, I'd put customer orders in. So I just wanted it bad enough, and I made it work. And let's see, hang on just a second. Okay, so use a planner. If maybe you're not a planner person, and that's fine too. Not everybody is. I know people that are in the top 10 that don't use planners. That's okay. But if what you're doing right now is not working, try something different. So if you're not using a planner right now and you feel like you're all over the place, try it, because it might work for you. It doesn't have to look like this where it's color coded, but mine is. So, and I just color code it because I don't like to see just black and white. That drives me nuts. So I have purple as the people that are going to sign up that day. Orange is just for stuff that I have to do for my business. Pink is personal stuff. And green is for the wedding. Bless it. So many things for the wedding. So I'm planning a wedding right now. I'm just so busy. So I still have a crazy busy life, even though I don't have kids or a husband or a job and school, and I can't imagine trying to do all of those things. So bless you if you are one of those people, because I know there are people who juggle all that. But all you have to do is plan out your day, and like she said, stick to that plan. And it's funny because Kelsey Thornton, I don't know if y'all know who she is, my team probably does if you've been in for a little bit, but she's my accountability partner. And it's so funny because she always talks about how I do this. She's like, if Morgan has her day planned and you ask her if you can call her, she'll say no, because she'll have to wait till she can like plan me in the next day, because I usually have my whole entire day planned. And I'm like, I don't have any time to talk to you, but let's talk tomorrow. And so I literally stick to my plan. And then if I happen to have free time, then I do, and that's great. But I don't take on anything else that I didn't plan on doing. And that's something that's been like so helpful. So this last week I was in Mississippi to visit my family. I had a bridal shower, drove back up 12 hours back up to Michigan. My mom stayed the week with me. We had July 4th, all this stuff. And that week I still was able to sign up like 5 or 6 distributors and 20 customers. I'm not saying that to like brag, but I'm saying that to say I still was working my business. I still enrolled. I had 2 or 3 girls go Ruby. I was able to help, all these people and do all these things with my business, even through the craziness. Why? Because I planned it out. I knew exactly what I was going to do the day before. So I don't plan out my day that morning, because then you're already like frazzled and like, whatever. So tonight before I go to bed, I'm going to plan out, and I've already started. This is tomorrow. And I still have to highlight and color code, but I'm going to go through and plan out my day, exactly what I need to do. I even number it in the order of what I'm going to do, so that I can do like, either the things that are going to get done the fastest, so I can do a lot of it right now, and then do, my follow-ups and my messaging later. And I number them in the order of most important. So if I run out of time, I know that I've got the most important things done, and then I immediately move everything else to the next day. So I plan out my day the night before, and I stick to that every single day. I do exactly what's on there. I do my follow-ups, message, and all that stuff. And I set up my post the night before, so I'm not struggling to post every day. So there's a lot of different things that I do to stay organized, and you don't have to do that to be successful with this business. So I don't get overwhelmed because I plan everything out. But if, like what I was saying though, is if that does overwhelm you, like if planning and using a planner, if that's more stressful for you, don't do it. That's just, if what you're doing right now isn't working, try it. And that might work better for you than not being organized. But for me, if I didn't have a planner, I would be stressed out so much. So everybody's different. So I'm definitely not saying that everybody needs to get a planner, but what I'm saying is that if you haven't yet and what you're doing isn't working, try it. So everything is super simple for me. I know exactly what I'm going to do, and I get it done. And what I do, I started this probably a month and a half or 2 months ago, and I do power hours every day. And then I can get every single little bit of this done. Like literally everything that's in orange is all my tasks for the day. I got them all done in 1 hour. So then what do I have? The rest of my day to go to my job or go to school or whatever y'all have to do. And for me, that was running errands, doing wedding planning stuff, all the stuff that I have to do. If you can get everything done in 1 hour, you have the rest of your day to be with your family, to do whatever you need to do, and message people in between that. You get to respond to messages, you get to post and all that stuff that's easy to do while you're on the go in the car or whatever. And it makes it so much less stressful, because you're not like 3 o'clock in the afternoon running errands like, crap, I haven't done my follow-ups today. You do everything at the beginning of the day, and you can do it at the end if you want, but for me, I like to get it all done and then have the rest of my day to do whatever. Let me see. Yeah, so that's basically everything that I had to do. So come up with 6 things that you want to do every single day. Write those down in the planner tonight for tomorrow. Find a time during the day, whether it's a power, half hour, twice, whatever, and then get that stuff done in those amounts of time, and have the rest of your day to truly be with your family, to truly, be all at your job and do your job well, to truly do the things that you enjoy and go to the park and play with your dog, whatever, but that you've done your business too, because you can't neglect one or the other. You have to be able to manage and blend both. Okay, so then the next thing that we're going to talk about is signing distributors. And I know Charity ran off for a second. So signing up distributors, this is huge because we have this awesome promotion. If you need to stay on tasks better, there's an app called Focus Keeper.
I was just going to say that's what I had wrote down. So you and I do this before we move on to DTs. This just goes to show you guys that you can do this business in so many different ways. So I tried doing the planner with the highlighters and all of that. And I'll be honest, for me, I've tried it a million times and it's just not my jam and jelly. So what I did is I have a laminated check sheet. Let me get it here just a second. Okay. So I have these laminated sheets and I have a couple of them so I can kind of keep track of what I've done for the week. And I have a laminated checklist. So this is what I use. So what I do, because I get like super ADD, like looking at what you do in a day with all of that written down, I would probably literally go insane just because like my brain doesn't work like that, right? Okay. So what I do is I've got my little checklist here and I don't know why this works for me and I really wish I would have found this sooner, but I get distracted super easy. I am like squirrel all the time. And so I recently have found that if I take my headphones and I put them on, I got my music going, like Skrillex, which no one probably even knows what that is, but I have like EDM like raging in my ears, like crazy loud, right? And I sit down and I turn on my Focus Keeper and I'm like, okay, for 15 minutes, I am going to do just one of these alphabet things. And guys, these are not like crazy things. I've got post in a chat, add value to my feed, value to my hot lead, add friends, put birthday messages, check in on yesterday's posts, shout out a DT, alphabet time, which we'll go into in a second, follow-up time, work a Facebook group. And I don't get to all of these every day, of course, because every day is a little bit different. But these are my goals, and I have them broken into one side is Facebook and one side is Instagram, and then miscellaneous stuff like mailing out prizes, bumping my host to posts, schedule Zooms with the team, update my phone albums because I always have so many pictures in there that like I don't need. So it's like I use this. And so that's the first thing I do now is I put on the headphones, do Focus Keeper, which is the greatest app ever. And I'm like, okay, for 15 minutes, I do nothing but 6 Facebook things. Done, check. And then I'll go like spaz out and freak out for a minute and go do whatever. And then I'm like, okay, 10 minutes, I can do 10 minutes. Because when I sit down to try to do just a power hour and work for just an hour, within 15 minutes, I'm like, and I'm like, my brain literally is like, you're done. So I have to like get up and freak out and like spaz out because that's just who I am. And then I sit back down for 15 minutes, boom, Focus Keeper. Okay, I'm going to do as much as I can get in 15 minutes. Timer goes off, I put my phone down, I go freak out, do whatever, 15 minutes. And doing it this way, it's crazy, guys. I hammer this list out almost every day, along with helping take care of my mom and all the stuff that's going on with her, remodeling this house, like all this nut stuff, right? But I'm getting so much more done doing it this way. So, I mean, write down all the activities you do, laminate it, and then create yourself a checklist if that works better for you than trying to schedule things in. The other thing I wanted to say too, that a lot of us have made the mistake doing, and I know Morgan, you've probably done this at one point or the other, is your numbers are skewed. You should be spending 80% of your time on new leads and your business and 20% on your team. This has to happen, guys. If you don't do this, you are going to coast. Has anyone ever coasted or lost rank? I have. I've gone double, triple. And whenever I fall back in that double range, it's because I've been managing my team too much. So my leaders have calls that I schedule throughout the week. Just did a couple of them today. Yeah, I can share my checklist. I'll get it to Morgan and team. I'll get it to you. A lot of it may not make sense to you because you're gonna be like, what in the world is that? It's just my own personal thing. But if you've got an hour, so if Morgan said to me, Morgan's on my team, and Morgan's like, okay, Charity, I've got an hour every day to work my business, right? 80% of an hour is, and I'm not going to do math, guys, because I have dyslexia, but it's about, 50 minutes? Is that about 50 minutes of time? I don't know. 50 minutes of time has to be spent on you adding friends, messaging people, and doing all the things that are going to help to grow your business. That means your team, I don't care how big it is, gets 10 minutes. That's it. Like, they're cut off. And like Morgan said, when someone says to you, but I really need to talk to you, great, I will schedule you in tomorrow. This is your time. If you miss your call, that's your time. If you don't do this, guys, and Adrienne's like, oh, I know about this. Val's like, oh, she does this. If you don't, and you start spending more time on your team, I promise you, without a shadow of a doubt, you will demote, you will lose rank, you will get frustrated, your team will not work because your team's always going to do what you do. So 80-20 rule, guys, you have to do it. No matter what your schedule looks like, whether you do it like Morgan or you do it like me, you got to put that 80% of time into your own business, not your team. Yes. DTs, you're up.
Okay, so there's so many different ways to sign up distributors, but I'll share what works for me, and that may be different than what works for y'all. So Charity may have some different tips too. One thing that you have to remember is be yourself. Your posts are not going to sound like mine. My posts are not going to sound like yours. And copying and pasting everyone else's posts and making those your distributor posts, and you never write your own, people aren't going to know who you are. People aren't going to know that you're genuine. You're not going to sound like yourself, so you want to make sure that people can hear your voice, they can hear your personality in your posts. If you're weird, be weird in your posts. Be normal, be like your normal self. Like, don't try to be like sophisticated or like salesy if that's not who you are. And if you are salesy, maybe don't be so salesy, but be yourself, be genuine, and talk to people like as if they're sitting right here and just saying, like, I know you've been watching my posts. Like, I want to run with you, and don't be scared to reach out to me. Like, I would love to help you with this business. We have this amazing $455 value because you have the original 120 that comes with your kit plus the 353 or whatever it is. So you have this huge value of free products that you're going to get by joining this business with me, and I would love to help you. Text opportunity to my number. Boom, simple. And that sounds like me. So Zoe would say it differently. Brooke would say it differently because we're all different. So be yourself. And then remember, it's not about you. It is not about your chart. Why did you join? Was it to be
About you, it's about other people.
Okay, I'm back. So, it's not about you. Why did you join? Like, did you join this business so that you could be a $400 on Charity's chart? Or did you join this business to change your life? So you can't look at other people as, I have to fill this $400. I need an executive. Like, I need somebody to join my team because, like, I'm trying to go Ruby. I'm trying to go Emerald. Like, I need this bonus, so I need 5 DTs. Do you see, like, how that's not the right mindset at all? Instead, and it's easy to get in that trap, especially whenever you first get started, because you're like, I need to sign DTs. I need to do this. And, like, anytime somebody texts me, like, I need to sign DTs, I'm like, stop. Because you're never going to get anywhere with that attitude, because your posts are going to come across as desperate, as I need DTs, and it's going to seem selfish. So whenever you talk to them, it's not going to be like, dude, I really want to change your life. Like, I know you'd be so good at this. It's going to be like, you need to do this. It's fine. Like, it's going to sound like, I don't know, how you act in your heart behind that is going to come across in your post, whether positive or negative. It's going to come across in your messaging, and you want people to know that you really do care about them. And I'm not super yellow, which is somebody who's very, like, wants to help people and very much wants to this and, like, nourishing or what, nurturing, not nourishing, nurturing. Like, I'm not very yellow, but I am when it comes to this business, like, as far as wanting to help people. And you get that the more that you get to help people. Like, the more people I've helped on my team, the more I want to see that happen again and again. So put yourself in that mindset, even if it's not natural for you, because it's not for me. And so I have to remember it's not about me. It's not about my chart. People aren't joining for me. They're joining for them. And that's why I want them to join. Okay, so you want to change lives. Let that passion be your drive. So keep it simple. Whenever you're talking to them in a conversation, keep it simple. If you overcomplicate it, a confused mind says no. So if you overcomplicate it and you go into, okay, so you're going to sign 5 DTs and you're going to run an 80 BB auto shipment. And whenever you sign those 5 DTs, they're going to sign 4 LCs. And then whenever they sign 4 LCs, you're going to get a $100 bonus. And you're also going to get 2 wrap rewards. And those wrap rewards are $25. You're going to sell those for $25 each. And you're going to make $75 in profit. Like, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, never mind. Like, and they'll block your number. Like, don't. And it's so funny because we talked about failing a lot earlier. I went back through some of my old messages and I'm like, no, delete. Like, it's terrible. Like, I literally sat there and I was like, they're like, so what is a loyal customer? And I was just like,
yeah, I'm so happy that on Instagram you can unsend messages, because I found some that were like, I wrote it and then it was, the Instagram cut me off, so I wrote more. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this person probably thought I was like schizophrenic or something.
It's just like 4 messages, just like all I said was what's a loyal customer? Like, I was just like scrolling. I was like, this is terrible, and I'm still scrolling. Like, so anyway, keep it simple. If you don't know what to say, reach out to a diamond leader on your team that's, you know, maybe you're under a diamond leader or whatever. Reach out to somebody who you feel like knows what they're doing when it comes to signing up distributors, maybe someone who has signed up distributors, whether they're new or whether they haven't been in or whether they're new or they have been for a while. Reach out to them and ask them to help you. For me, like my team page, we have an album that's called Scripts, and there's a potential distributor conversation in there as far as giving you guidelines. Make that script your own and make it sound like you, but that's going to tell you what to go into next so that it's a conversation that flows and you feel confident in knowing exactly what you're going to say next. That is going to build that confidence with them. If you're confident, they're going to feel confident in you and in the business. So keep it simple. So another thing too is to use the tools that your team has and that your team does. So I know Charity had a party tonight, and whether that was for customers or distributors or both, get your people on that party. And I know my team, we have them every Sunday night. So if you're not taking advantage of our online opportunity parties, you need to. That's a huge way to sign distributors. I signed 2 that I invited last night from our party already, just because I invited them to that party and followed up with them. And so if you're not taking advantage of that, that's on you, because we have these tools available and you have to put them to use, and that's going to help a lot. Another thing for my team is we're doing, and if you want me to like add you to my team page for like the day or whatever, so you can go look at this stuff, you can just let me know. But we're doing another challenge. Yeah, okay, I will. We're doing a sign a DT challenge. So we did like a hashtag sign a DT, so that if you search that, then you can see all the posts for that. But we're doing it this whole entire month, and every day it's either a video that I make about a tip on how to sign up a distributor. It's either, and this was before we knew the kits were coming out, so this is perfect for the people who have been doing it leading up to this, because now they have all these potentials that they can follow up with about it. But and it's just, there's so many different like tips from top income earners and people who know what they're talking about when it comes to signing up distributors. Gives you posts to make, ideas of whatever. So if you're not using the hashtag sign a DT challenge, you're missing out, because that's another tip and another way that you can easily sign up distributors if you'll just do the work. All you have to do is go read the thing and go do it, or read the thing and take that advice or whatever it is for that day. And then do you want me to go ahead and go into how, like, just messaging and all that stuff?
Yeah, kind of go into like what you do, and then I'll just kind of go into what I'm doing. I think a lot of it's going to be similar, because I know we're both we are building kind of the same way. But yeah, go ahead and do what you're doing, and then we'll swap.
Okay, so one thing, like I said earlier, and I'll just kind of make this quick, and I won't go really into detail about how, like, what I say in my messages. My team has my stuff already, and I'm sure Charity teaches her team to do pretty much the same thing I do, so I won't go into that. But a couple things that I do to get people interested. That's the biggest thing, is if you can get people interested and you can just be confident in the conversation, you're good. So we teach you how to be confident in the conversation, but how do you get people interested? Number one, you are consistent. Okay. You have to be posting about this every single day, because here's the thing. You're not the only person from It Works that they're following on social media. Maybe you are, but most likely you're not. Okay. So if there's me, they're following me on social media, and then they're following Susie Q over here, and I post every single day. I'm sharing my products every single day. I'm doing an Insta story every single day. I'm the one that's messaged them and followed up with them all the time. And then there's Susie Q, who's posted twice in the last month. Who do you think? Well, okay, so I say Susie Q because I was going to say like Susie, but then I didn't want there to be a Susie because there may be one on here. I don't know. Or like for y'all to think I'm talking about like Susan, because that's our upline. Anyways, so don't hate. Distractions. Oh, so who are they going to want to go with? Like who would you want to join under? Someone who is consistent and somebody that you felt like you could trust, or someone that was never posting, you know? And I actually had people come to me and they will tell me, you know, I follow a lot of people that do It Works, but I wanted to come to you. And I always ask them why, because I want to tell my team, this is what I'm doing and this is why people come to me. So whenever they're like, I was following so many people, but I came to you, and I said, why did you come to me? And they said, you just seemed really genuine. And that's what I get a lot is, yeah, Brooke was one of those people. But, I mean, I get that a lot, and people say, you know, you're genuine, or like you were so consistent, or you're the one who followed up with me. You're the first person I thought of when I wanted to join It Works, whatever. And so that means a lot, and that's something that takes time, just being consistent. So that's one thing, is posting consistently. Number two is what I post. And it does not matter how much money you make or how much money you do not make with this business. You can still post, because guess what? If I went on Instagram and I was like, yeah, I make $15,000 a month with this business, nobody believes that. It's unbelievable. People are not going to be like, oh yeah, okay, I really want to do this because I can make 15,000. Like, even whenever and you have to think back to when you first became a distributor. And for some of you, that's going to take some like real thought, because it's been a while. But I remember still when I looked at this girl's Instagram who signed me up, she was an Emerald, and I looked at the Emerald chart because I'm red, and I was like, how much money is she making? And she was making $1,200 a month. And I was like, if she can make $1,200 a month, I can make 100. I never thought I could do that too. I never thought I could make $1,200 too. But I knew that $100 was doable. So if you're making $100 a month, guess what? We're probably posting about the same things. I don't really talk about, I made $15,000 a month, you know, woo, like whatever. And I do talk about my bonuses sometimes, and that's great. But more often than not, I'm like, It Works just paid for my gas. It Works just paid, you know, help me pay for something for my wedding. It Works just paid for this, and It Works bought my groceries. Like, it's the little things that people can relate to. They can't relate to paying off credit card debt, even though that may be a huge goal for some of them, and that's something that they want to do. And so then they're like, oh my gosh, like, so post about both, big things, little things, post about where you're going. You know, I post all the time, like, I'm paying off my cars. Like, It Works is going to pay off all of our cars, and I haven't done that yet. But I know that's going to happen, so then I'm posting about it already. And then at the end, add a call to action every single time. So either say, comment an emoji below if you're interested. Give them something to do with that post. They just read it, now what the heck do I do? So then say, one of my favorite things, and I literally have a girl signing up tomorrow morning who saw one of my posts today, texted me and said opportunity, because I said text opportunity to 901 and said my number. And so she texted me opportunity, walked her through. She had been watching my stuff for 6 months and never reached out, and she saw the deal that we're doing. She finally reached out to me, and she's like wanting to sign up tomorrow morning, and she's like already had to go to sleep for work and stuff. But like, it's crazy. People will text you and say, you know, HSN or, you know, detox or whatever. So do that about the opportunity. Insta stories. Love Insta stories. They're so amazing because you can do polls on there, and that's so much less intimidating for whatever reason for people to click a button than to message you. So people will vote on your Insta polls, and whenever you do that, they're not going to be like, are you interested in $500 extra a month? Yes or no? It's going to be like, yes, I want more info. Yes, I'm ready now. It's going to be two positive things so that no matter what you win, and like make it smaller, because I know a lot of people at first, whenever we first started doing the Insta stories, they're like, everybody keeps accidentally voting on my poll. Well, that's because it's this big and they just hit it on accident whenever they're scrolling. So I always make it small and tilted and like up a little bit where there's no way they can accidentally hit it. So that's something that I do. That's super helpful. And I share my story on my Insta story. Some of it will just be like a cute Pinterest picture with a poll. This morning I did my like story, like what this business has done for me. Sometimes it'll be a video of me saying, you know, like, oh my gosh, like I'm literally leaving the gas station. It works just pay for my gas again. I just want to get on here and tell y'all how thankful I am for this company, blah, blah, blah. And just switch it up, and you're going to feel like you're repetitive, but you have to remember, if you're doing this right, you have like at least 100 to 200 new followers every week that have never heard your story. So you're not telling the same person, like I'm not telling Charity every single day, 5 times a day, my story. I'm telling all these different people who have never heard it or who just need to hear it one more time. And then they're going to be ready. Because how many of you joined the first time you saw somebody's story, you were like, yep, that's it, I want to do it, join right now? Like, no, it took you time. Like, you had to watch them for a while. You had to feel it out, and you watched them stay consistent, and that's why you decided to join. So I think, and then I message people, of course, reach out to them, and I don't mass message for distributors at all. I'm very selective. So if any of you get a message from me that's like, you know, well, obviously not y'all star distributors, but like, I'm very selective with who I message, as far as like, I'm not just going to message somebody and say like, I think you'd be amazing at this business, if they're super negative on social media or their profile picture is of a cat. No offense, but like, I mean, if I genuinely don't think that they would really be good at this business, not that you have to be like a certain way to be good at this business, but if I don't truly think that, I'm not going to tell them that. So I look for people who are either similar to me or who have a good personality. Doesn't matter what they look like, but if they just seem like a positive, genuine, nice person, I'll reach out to them and I'll say, I think you'd be amazing at this. And so that's something that I do. And the biggest way probably that I get, and I want to do this. Okay, hang on. Okay, raise your hand if you were my customer before you were a distributor. Okay, like literally everybody. So most of my customers are either still ordering or they're distributors. And I just either reach out to them at the end of their 3 months, or I create such a good relationship that towards the end, or even, 2 days later, some people are like, I want to order my products. Okay, I haven't even got my order in yet, but I want to be a distributor. But I either just create such a good relationship with them and like really try to love on them that they either order for forever or they want to become a distributor. It's not always like that. I still have customers that cancel, whatever. But, I try to have that relationship with them where they're like, I want to do this. Like, I can do this, or where they get to start asking questions. So, sorry, that was kind of long, but those are the ways that I sign up distributors.
Dude, I love it. So a lot of mine is the same, although I kind of did it more by exactly what I'm doing. So this is actually perfect. Yes, on the customers, guys, 7 out of every 10 customers I enroll become a distributor. Sometimes they become a distributor and a customer, and then sometimes they even become a distributor again, because either they can't make up their mind or it's just bad timing or whatever. And all I say, this is it. This is all I say to them is, hey, I know you're really liking the products, and I've noticed you haven't been able to order in a month or so, or a month. Like, can we just call a spade? And would you be willing to share with me, is it that you don't like the products, or is it that you just don't have the money for them? It works every single time. People don't stop ordering from you because they don't like the products. That may happen once in a while. You get a salty customer, or you get someone that bought hair, skin, and nails and stuck it up in the cabinet and they can't figure out why their hair is not growing. And then you ask them if they've taken it and they say, no, it's still in the cabinet. Like, yes, you're going to come across those people from time to time, right? But generally, people stop ordering because they just don't have the money. Like maybe they came in as a customer because it was tax time and they had that extra income. And now it's summer and the kids are out of school. Maybe they're a teacher, they're not making as much, and they have to decide between paying for extra childcare and greens. Well, it's not that they don't want the greens. It's not that they didn't like them. It's just they don't have the money. And so when you present it like that and they're like, well, to be totally honest with you, we are kind of strapped. And then all you have to say is, are you ready to do something about that? And they're like, well, what do you mean? And it's like, well, you ordered from me for 3 months and you like the greens. Don't you think people would order from you for 3 months and get the greens? Like, could you use an extra $100? And with the free 15 right now, it's like insane to not get enrolled. I think Sue earlier was like, can I get started again? Like, seriously, it's like, it's such a good deal. So yeah, so 7 out of every 10 of my customers become DTs. I've had one customer that's enrolled 4 times. So I've made Fast Start bonuses off her for 4 times. Like, guys, there's ways to make that happen. Like, don't just like, okay, well, I signed up a customer. Great, that's it. Like, oh, she stopped ordering. She must not like me or the product. No, she doesn't have the money. Okay. So on my little checklist here, I put down basically the stuff that I do every single day for signing DTs. I'm like Morgan. I won't reach out to people that I don't think I want on my team. And I'll be honest with you, if I look at their picture and I say to myself, well, first of all, it's a cat and I don't have any felines on my team. So that's a no. If their pictures aren't good, they don't post very regularly, like they seem negative, or they're like Trump, 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 or like this and that, or whatever. Like, I'm like, dude, I don't want to deal with politics. I just want to like go with the flow. Like, I don't want people with like insane opinions. I don't want people like vaping for 2 hours on their Instagram. Like, there's certain things I'm looking for, right? So I'm definitely selective with who I reach out to. When I do reach out to them, I am myself. I'm weird. I got a potty mouth. I can't believe I've kept the Zoom clean. This is a miracle. So my team's like, oh yeah, she really does. So I'm not going to tell them, I'm not going to BS them. So if I think they'd really be good, I'm going to say to them, look, here's the deal. I'm killing it over here. I've been stalking you. Yes, I'm a stalker for the last like 3 months. You would kill at what I do. What would you say if I told you I could help you make an extra $500 a month from your phone? Like, are you interested, or should I move along and talk to somebody else that I think is awesome? Like, so I'm going to just put my own little charity spin on that. So that's how I reach out if I want to reach out to someone. Tiff, that's on our team, one of our double diamonds. I watched her trying to make money with a different company. In fact, I talked to her. She joined another company. I watched her not make any money. And I believe my message to sign her was, so are you going to continue to make money with that company? Or are you going to continue to not make any money with that company and sink money into something that's not going to work? Or are you just going to spend the $99 freaking and get started with me today? And she's like, okay, fine. So whatever your personality is, if you're like sunshine and rainbows, be like, girl, I can't wait for 1 more minute to hold your hand and run to the promised land together. Like, whatever your jam is, like, be you, like Morgan said. I gain people through conversations. So I am a conversation distributor. Like, I will put up on my team page, here's some great follow-up messages to send. Here's some things I'm sure the people on my team saw that today. Here's some messages. This is a skeleton script. Make it your own. But what I generally use is friendship. So I do a couple different things. First of all, I work my alphabet. I don't know if anybody works alphabet. I know people. So I've got my friends list printed out on Facebook, and I just pick a letter. And I'm like, everybody with the letter A today is getting a friendship message. And my message is usually it's genuine. It's like, hey girl, happy Tuesday. Did you have an amazing 4th? And were you hungover as well? And what have you been up to? I haven't seen you on my Facebook in a while. Like, I start that conversation. We go back and forth. I use the acronym FORM. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it stands for family, occupation, recreation, and material possessions. So if you don't know what to talk to people about, talk to them about their family, their kids, where they live, all of those things. Occupation. What do they do for a living? Are they happy with it? How long have they been doing it for? Do they work for themselves? They work at home. Here's your job, guys. You are a detective of wealth and health. The more information you can get out of somebody, the more you can use that to enroll them, right? So I just do my alphabet. I put on what I call my listening ears, which is I am listening for them to give me an opportunity. So if we talk about their family and I don't really hear anything like, oh no, family's great. Like, I got a couple kids, things are good. Yeah, I like my job. The job is pretty good. I work pretty good hours. I feel pretty fortunate. And then we get to recreation. They're like, yeah, I really wanted to take kids to Disneyland this summer, but it's just not going to happen because I just don't have the money. Ding, listening ears. My listening ears just told me that opportunity is there. So then this is the only thing I ever say, guys. I say, really, Disneyland? That sounds like fun. Hey, I've got an idea. Want to hear? That's the only thing I say. And they're like, yeah, what's the idea? Or question mark. I'm like, what if I could show you how to use your phone and make some quick cash to go to Disneyland? Interested? If they say yes, then I'm going to get them on the phone. So I use that, hey, I have an idea. So I work my alphabet. The second thing, and I won't go all the way into this, but I will get Morgan the link for this. I don't know if anybody's in Millionaire School. It's a thing I do on Saturdays. But I created something called the Leads Ladder. And it goes distributor, loyal customer, host a post, come to a fit, what the fit, and then unfriend. I'll get you guys the link because it's what I use in every conversation, and 0 leads get away now. The number is 0. Every single person fits onto a rung in the ladder. It's just my job to figure out what rung they're on. And that's like a whole nother Zoom, but I won't go into it, but I will get you guys a recording on it. Next, feelings sell, facts don't. Feelings sell, facts don't. Nobody cares how smart you are. 0 people care. Nobody cares. Nobody cares how much you know about horse chestnut or exactly what greens do, or just a package of wraps or a stock photo of a product. What does that even mean? Like, we've all done this when we first enrolled. We get like a terrible image off of Google and we put it up and it's just like a blurry picture of, some shake or greens or something. And it's like, greens, detox, balance your system, message for details. Who cares? What is a greens? What does it even mean? Confianza, get yours today for stress. What is that language? I can't even say the word. What is she? I don't care about that, right?
I feel like you my Instagram like all the way back to when I first joined for this part of your Zoom.
So bad.
It's so bad.
I deleted 3,200 posts off my Instagram. No joke, because of that. Yeah, it got deep in the bad images. So guys, I want you to think of the company. Everyone know what Coca-Cola is, right? Do we all know what Coca-Cola is? I'm assuming. Coca-Cola's whole tagline is taste the feeling, not a can with like high fructose corn syrup and fizz. Get yours today. What? They're like, no, taste the feeling. And it's like some hot dude like cracking open a Coke and his shirt's like off blowing in the breeze. It's like sweat. And he's like, oh, it's so refreshing. And you're like, I want a Coke so bad, right? Why? It's a feeling. Taste the feeling. Or it's like polar bears and like girls playing out. It's summer and it's like kids at the beach. Feelings, guys. Feeling sells. So when you're talking to people about becoming a distributor, find out everything about them. I remember asking Tiffany this. When she first started, she's like, how do you sign distributors? And all I had to say to her was, Tiff, how much do I know about you? She's like, oh my God, you literally know everything about my life. It's creepy. And I said, how much do you know about me? And she got quiet and said, I think you have a kid. In fact, I think, didn't she message me the other day and go, wait, you have a brother? Like, I don't matter, right? What about me doesn't matter. I can say, oh, I have a brother too, or oh, I have this, or I have that. But it's the feeling. I learn about them, because when you learn who they are, you will listen and find out what they need. So the only messages I send out, guys, I don't do copy pastes. Like, it screwed me up for years in this business. I tried to do the Jade Hooper thing and send out the copy paste messages. And I'm not even kidding you. I literally wasted 2 years of my time. Not to say that there's anything wrong with Jade Hooper or her messaging. It works for her. And I know it works for a lot of people on her team. It doesn't work for me. I am not a copy paste individual. I can't send copy paste messages. I love doing voice messages and then hitting forward. And I have like a general script I'll send out for the day, but I try to make it authentic. Here's the way I look at it. I'd rather send out 50 messages in a day that are about friendship and learning about other people to find out what rung of the ladder they belong on, then send out 50 copy paste messages and then have to go back and apologize, like I've had to do so much, for sending those messages out and saying, hey, I'm really sorry I sent you that really crappy message last year doing this. I didn't know what I was doing. I was a hot mess. Have you ever tried to start something new? And they're like, oh yeah, I have, totally. And then we get to talking. And then they're like, hey, let me place a $700 order, which is literally what just happened to me a couple days ago. So guys, friendship, feeling, learning about them. So I do friendship messages. I invite to our fits. Our team does 6 fits a week. So no excuses to not invite to that. Insta stories are gold. Morgan, I actually make my poll thing huge and I make people vote on it, because the message I send out to every single person is, hey girl, I saw that you voted on this. Quick question. Were you serious about wanting to da-da-da-da-da, or were you just goofing around? That's what I always say. And when they say, oh, I didn't mean to hit that button, I'm like, dude, this happens all the time. Like, I'm so crazy with like making huge buttons and stuff like that. Like, I don't even know what's wrong with me. Ha, 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 ha. Hey, I saw on your profile that you're also a hairdresser. Like, what do you think about the full bright color? And I'll just, like, if anyone messages me or anyone votes, that is an automatic invitation for me to have a conversation. So for me, I make those like gratuitously big, so they have to hit it. Insta stories are live, guys. If you're not using Instagram and you're not using those Insta stories, like, I'd say 80% of my enrollments right now are coming from Insta stories. And when I take them out of Instagram and put them into Facebook, I immediately put them in our group that we have for when we do our fits. So we've got a group, I stick them in there, and I'm like, here's where you can win free stuff, and then I remind them. Host a post, which, I mean, I don't think we need to go into that. I think everyone knows what a host a post is. If you don't, ask your team. I know our team page has like a million things. We're doing a host a post contest right now. Host a posts are great because you instantaneously take yourself out of the equation, and everyone else becomes what's called third party. Don't know what that is, look it up. And then my follow-ups. So my follow-ups fall into 3 categories: pokes, hellos, and finals. So my poke follow-ups are like, hey girl, you kind of like disappeared on me. Like, am I being weird? Did I offend you? Like, are things strange? Like, are you still there? So that's like just a little poke, right? My hellos are always a GIF or a bit emoji of me being like awkward, weird, like something crazy and strange. And my finals are, they're low red, so they might not be right for everybody, but my finals are like, look, Morgan, I know you're really interested in making some extra income with me. We talked it out. We've gone through all of the reasons you need to do this and all the reasons you think you can't do this. But I got an elite spot on my team with someone that I'm going to run with. Do you want to run with me, or should I offer this opportunity to someone else? So that's kind of my like you reach back out to me when you're ready. That's all the messages I send out. So it sounds like we're kind of doing things similarly. I think when it comes down to it, guys, is it's just consistency. And it's how long you're willing to be consistent. Because like Morgan said, like, there is another It Works girl or It Works guy in their life somewhere, right? Just like there's a million McDonald's. McDonald's is still making money. Some towns have 5 McDonald's. It's not about that. It's about you standing out, because somewhere, someone is working harder than you. And when you meet her, she will win. So you have to decide if you want to be that girl or if you want it to be somebody else. Yeah.
I love it. This is so good. Thank you so much for getting on here with us. Did you have anything else to add at the end?
I don't think so. I think, like Morgan said, it just comes down to deciding, guys. Really, honestly, like, we can tell you all these tips and you can have all the excuses that you want and all the reasons why you can't do this. But there is someone working this business with a crazier, harder, more horrible life than you, and killing it. So, you know, you can either let your excuses be your fuel, you know, let them be or you can let your reasons be your fuel, or you can let them be your excuses and just literally watch the same Zoom in a year from now that some other leader's doing and, you know, be regretful. And I hope you won't, because I've done that, guys. I've coasted, I've swam, I have floundered and failed. And now we're on fire, and it's because we're just keeping it so much more simple and authentic. Yeah, and consistent.
Simple is huge, because that's like what I've been working on too with my team, is just keeping it simple, like in our day to day, and then in our conversations with our potential. So, all right, well, this is recorded. So, Charity, I'll just add you in my team page for like a few days, and then you can grab those sign and DT stuff if you want. And I'm gonna post this in there so you can grab the link from there too. But anyway, hope you all have a great rest of your night. Bye, guys.